Uh, uh. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. Well, I've gone live now on YouTube and Facebook. People are going to start populating. If you're watching a replay of this, you got about a 2-minute fast forward here. Wait for a few more people to show up. Let me actually pull up YouTube again. Jay Watson is here and Jay Dumont. And you can hear me, maybe? Let me know. Let me know. Ooh, that's my knee. Why do those things happen? Yeah. You can hear me and my crackling knee. Good. Today we're doing top half guard so that y'all know. I did a brain dump for that was released last night at 8 p.m. That was a half hour me talking through 10 moves from top of half. And we're going to talk about just the first 3.5 today. Oh, what's up, Nicole? Good to see you. Nicole and Seth, no doubt. Right? So we're going to be talking about, the first few moves I talked about in the brain dump yesterday. If you want, more information, you'll probably get more information tonight because I was doing 10 moves last night, so I was a little more cursory. So today I'll talk about a little longer about each one. And basically what we're going to talk about is half guard 2, which I kind of call it half guard 2 or the PMA half guard, the one where we put our elbow on the far side and switch our hips. And I'm going to talk about why. And we talk about the like immediate things that you can look for. Those are the immediate things that you can look for is what we'll talk about tonight. Thursday we'll mix in some other stuff, and Saturday we're going to talk about half guard 1. What if you find yourself in the other half guard? Maybe Thursday we'll get to that too. But the included in Saturday is going to be how to escape lockdown. So some of us use lockdown within PMA, and that's a very annoying thing to some others of us. So I'll be teaching that. But tonight, just going to talk about what I think it should be your primary response when somebody catches your leg, puts you in half guard, what you should do right away, and then the next 1 or 2 things that you should almost definitely be planning on getting and trying to execute in the next moments following that. Okay. So why don't we start with I'm going to assume people do some reps in a class like this. Seth and I, yeah, nice. Good to see you guys. Sorry, a little veganism over here. Okay, now let's get ourselves warmed up a little bit. So let's just do I always start with my feet and hands. And Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, these classes are going to be, times that we're doing some reps on each thing that I talk about. So that's why we cover a few instead of a lot. And that's based on your guys' feedback. So be moving your shoulders around. We're just going to get a little bit warmed up because we are going to move. Really just a little basic thing up top here. Let's do our necks because we should always do our neck. So look left and right. Just trying to get a stretch. Up and down. Nicole, I love your business. I drove by yesterday. All the hearts and stuff. I mean, tons of hearts. It's beautiful. Ear to shoulder. I know the very top of my head is cut off. Nothing you need to see there in Facebook, but I'm going to be mostly on the ground here, so you're going to see everything in a minute. And then you can circle your neck. You're doing all of the things you just did. Try not to shrug your shoulders. Try to just let your neck go through its range of motion. Okay, other way. Okay. Katie, nice to see you. Katie, don't forget, is going to be on doing yoga at 7:30, so you guys should be tuning in for that too. Let me just get, this is a big risk because I got this flexi thing holding my phone here, but okay. Well, it's about the same. All right, we're going to be talking about half guard, top of half guard today. So the problem that we're going to talk about, the first problem I encounter is, half guard happening when someone catches my leg. Maybe I was mounted on someone who was doing pretty good, but they elbow escaped underneath and they caught my leg. So here's me up here and I just got my leg caught. Okay. So I'm in top of half guard because of that. Or maybe I was side mounted and maybe I thought I'd step over, but in the air somehow the person caught my leg. So I've got two legs. They've got my leg in their evil clutches. Okay. So what I want to talk about first is your initial reaction when someone does that. And this is if you want to follow kind of, my prescription. So it is what it is because I really think it's better for a number of reasons that I'll explain tonight. But this is what we're going to do. Someone catches this leg. As soon as they come underneath it to start catching it, I'm going to bring my elbow to the other side. I want to turn and face it. And I'm going to turn onto my hip. And you'll know you turned the wrong way if they're catching this leg and then I turn this way and I can't even see the problem. So this is one of those moments, like many moments in jiu-jitsu, where I'm going to tell you that the most important thing is to turn and face your problem. So my problem is that my leg got caught. So I'm going to bring my elbow to the far side of the head and turn on my hips and switch. So that looks like this. So this foot is back for base and my knee is against their hip. But my foot, you don't want to be here. Even though this looks heavier, it looks like I have better base. Both of those things are true. But when my leg's way out here, they can elbow escape this one too and get me back in full guard pretty easy. Or as a bottom person, they could underhook a leg that's off the ground pretty easily. And we don't want either of those things to happen. So when someone elbow escapes, I switch to here. Okay. Only thing you can't see from this video vantage point is this foot that I have for base behind me. And we'll talk about that in a moment. It's not great base. It's not a ton of base behind me that I have. But I think that's part of the beauty of this position is that it looks so unstable to the bottom person. And just for a moment, I didn't talk about this in the brain dump, but let's talk about what we see, right? When I'm mounted, someone elbow escapes this leg and I switch, I see their head is in here, okay? So I see, their whole chest and abdomen. I see this leg going over and that leg going under. I see the whole show. And all they see with their head back through here is just a big, like a drive-in movie screen of just my back, whatever gi I wore that day. Okay, so even though that's exciting today because of this very fashionable rash guard, they don't see anything and I see everything. This is fantastic for me. So this is a good position for me for that reason. And then the reasons that we're going to talk about in a moment here. Let's see. The only other thing I want to mention about this is when I switch, so I can start getting this leg caught, so I switch. You can't leave your leg just doing anything down here. Obviously, everything has a purpose everywhere. So for the, this leg's not straight because I would easily get rolled. So that's back for base. We know that. Why shouldn't this leg be straight? Well, the bottom person can do bad things if they start working two legs against my one leg. So one of their legs is over, one of the legs is under. I want to get so close to their butt that the leg that's on top and the leg that's on bottom, they can't reach this foot to mess with it with both legs. Okay, so that's the idea. So after I switch, I'm just going to heel toe. It's probably not going to pick it up and put it here, although sometimes you can. But depending on the level of the guy, there might be some good weight on this leg. They might be big and heavy, right? So I'm going to heel toe. It doesn't matter how much weight they put down, how heavy they are here. Okay. The other, just a safety thing. One thing you never want to do from top of half a guard, is get a pizza. No, is leave your foot like this. Whether I'm on my knee or I've switched to my hip, you don't want to leave yourself like on the instep of your foot on the floor. It's just here nor there. Knee down is safe. They can put as much weight on your leg here as they want. Foot down is safe. They can put as much weight here as they want. It goes right through my foot. Instep down, and if there's like a sudden one of these with a bunch of weight, you might find that you get hurt in the knee area, which is like, the last place you want to get hurt. You don't want your knees to sound like mine or work like, Dan Thorns, who's looking at surgery. Okay. So we're here, switch, walk my foot up. That's our big movement. So let's just do that a few times. Start and mount. switch, walk your foot up, heel toe, okay? I'm just gonna do it 3 more times, assuming you've done, you can rep, of course, while I'm talking, so walk, 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 walk. Switch, heel toe, walk this thing up. Don't forget, when I switch, that this foot bends, it's not left down here. It's too easy to roll. I need a little base here, and then, and then, for ha-has, for completeness, let me say what Katie says at yoga and just like not leave us uneven, right? Let's switch so that we're the other way. So I'm going to switch my elbow to the other side, assuming now that they're catching this leg. So I'm going to do this angle. They start to catch this leg. I'm going to bring my elbow over, and I'm going to be here. They have the leg now, and that's a loss for me. But I'm already a step ahead if I can get a good position. So this is your wonky side. This is even my wonky side. So let's do this. Elbow across. Switch your hips. This knee is right up to their butt, and I've got it behind myself for a little bit of base. Right? And this foot, don't leave it out where my straight leg they can mess with, and I'm on the corner of my instep. No good. It's a possible knee injury. Get the sole of your foot down and heel toe it up. Okay, a couple more of these. Switch, heel toe it up. Switch my hips. Heel toe, heel toe. Last one. Switch. And then get that leg out of there, close to their butt, right here. Okay, good. So far, so good. Let's look at the next movement here. Give me 1 second. Next movement is going to be kind of like one of the very first and most basic things that I'm going to want you guys to do from this position where I just walk my foot up, and that's this here. Bottom person, like I said, one leg is through there and one leg is draped over here. And the legs might be crossed and they might be heavy. But what they're probably not doing is just holding onto my lower leg. They probably haven't grabbed me around the lower leg because my knee at that point would be in, there's tons of blue sky all around my knee. They can just see the world, right? And I can go right to mount, and they'd be holding only my lower leg. So that's no good for them. So if I get to half guard and someone's holding onto my upper leg above my knee, that's really the better grip they'll have. I'm going to do this. Put my hand on their inner thigh, and here's what I don't do next. Don't start shoving the leg. Again, assume it's a big guy and it's a very heavy leg, so that won't work. And it could just be someone who's strong enough to like just pinch their thighs or whatever on your leg, and then it's going to be hard to push off. So you can't count on pushing it off. Once I've switched, the elbow escape, and I switch, put my hand right on their inner thigh. Again, don't push, but move yourself. I'm backing my own hips up, and not just along the ground. When I do this, I back my hips up, and my hips are now floating. They're about 6 inches off the ground, and then I'm going to drive my knee in for mount position again. So I'm mounted. Someone elbow escapes his foot. I switch, walk my foot up, put my hand on the inner knee, back my hips up, drive my knee through, and take mount position. Eric Sclair, what's up, man? Eric Sclair and I learned this in 1997 from Jim Hughes and Horan and Hoist and all them. This is like the same half guard pass I've been using since 1997, and for new reasons every year, like the development of like dastardly things the bottom guy can do. For new reasons each year, I like it better and better. We just keep ourselves closer to the trunk of the tree of some basic positions instead of getting all crazy into lockdown and deep half. Okay, this position shuts those down. One more time. Switch. Hand on the inner thigh. Back my hips up. Drive my knee in. And now I'm in mount. They might have a little quarter mount down here. Quarter guard. Don't worry about that right now. Switch. Block. Hips back. Knee drive. Okay. That's going to be my mantra. We're down to a mantra. It's now reps. Switch. Block the thigh. Hips back and off the ground. Knee drive. Switch. Block. Hips back. Knee drive. Switch. Block. Hips back. Knee drive. Different angle. Switch. Block. Hips back. Knee drive. One more time. Different angle. Switching. Blocking. Hips back. Knee drive to mount. Okay. Now, wonky side. Let's practice. I hope you're repping with me. Let's practice our wonky side. I'm going to switch. They've caught this leg. I'm going to block their inner thigh. Back my hips up. Drive my knee to mount. Switch. Block. Hips back. Knee drive. Switch. And, walk your foot up. Block their inner thigh. Back myself up. Drive my knee through. Switch. Block. Hips back. Knee drive. Switch. Block. hips back, and knee drive. Let's get one more on our wonky side. Just switch, block, hip backwards. My hip is floating in the air for mobility. Drive in. At best, they have a little grip on my lower leg, but you're still in a way better position. So let's call it right there. There's more we can do. But we're gonna call it right there. So that's just clear and knee drive. And I would say, if all you knew, this was all I knew for years and years. If all you knew was to switch, clear your knee, and drive it across, you would be fine. In most situations, because what gets better over time is your balance. You know what I mean? When I switch to this position here and I walk my foot up, I get good at the little pieces of this. Maybe like a little tighter on the head, maybe a little bit of weight with my chest. I get better at being heavy. I get better balance when people are moving around and trying to do stuff. I get this foot safer. Everything just gets better over time. But if you only knew this move, I think you'd be pretty good. And then just clear your knee and drive. Basic, but super effective still for me, still against brown belts, black belts. I mean, when I roll, I still do okay in top of half. It's a position I actually kind of like because of this system. And I feel like this system's pretty bulletproof when you've practiced it even a little. Okay. So that's clearing and driving your knee. And then the other thing I'm going to give you here is just like, it's a pass. So if half guard is something that we pass because we free our leg, then this is a pass too, but there's a couple concepts that I'm going to just lay a foundation with before we call it a pass. And those are these here. When someone's on their side, let's say I caught your leg. Let's say I caught your leg. So you have one knee here and one leg in here. Okay. I want to be on my side like this. When I get on my side by putting weight on your leg and kind of shooting myself back here, it's easier for me to do some of the escapes we did last week from the bottom of half guard. So our escapes, my escapes increase. I get positional advantages a little bit, or at least perks, things that help me get out. But if I'm flat, if I have your leg, same whole position, but my orientation is this way. First of all, it's very hard to even hold onto your leg to stay above your knee because I'm flat. Like my legs will start sliding down. I'm just gonna have to use my core to keep the space closed. Okay. And you have all your position advantages back when I'm flat. Okay. So let me be the top guy for a moment. This person's holding onto my leg, and let's say their general orientation is toward the ceiling, but they turn and they face me. This is thumbs are up, and they turn to face me, roll into me, and they get on their side. Okay, that's the beginning of good stuff for them, including escape. So I can't have it. So you can't have a person on their side. But the good news is they're attached to me. So they're attached to me by the leg. That was their choice. They're holding on tight. So when they've gotten onto their side, I want to get them flat again. I'm just going to use what I'm attached to them with and flatten them back out. They're super attached to my leg. So I'm going to step and just walk in, right? It's a very simple, small movement, but super important. Again, someone turns on their side. That's the beginning of them, like maybe even getting up and getting away, or like using an underhook and trying to move me around or trying to get out of the back door. So they turn on their side. Now they're flat again. They do a lot of work to get on their side. Now they're flat again. The movement of this flattens them out, but I can't leave a space between us. So I just sort of sidle up, right? Step and sidle. Okay. So that step and sidle, that's the new piece. That's the new piece I'm adding in here in terms of a tool. That's like a tool, little concept that's going to help you hit the next escape. The other, just to give a foundation behind like the next escape that we're going to do, is we're going to talk about making them want to open their legs. So just the fact that you keep rolling them back to their back does this a little bit. So again, if we imagine that I've caught your leg, I got your leg here, and your knees are here and here. You know, I like being on my side. If you roll me flat, if you take that step, you take a step and walk me to here, I want to get on my side again, right? So I'm going to do what I can to wiggle and get back to my side. And you're going to do it again. So already I want to open my legs. And I want to open my legs because if I was on my side and I'm flat, I want to do this, put my foot down and get back on my side. Even if my plan is to recross my feet. So if I'm here, you know, now I'm on my side, someone rolls me flat. I put my foot on the ground, I can roll myself back onto my side. So the pass that we're going to see is, when a person opens their legs, they can't be holding your leg at the same time. So that's your little window, perhaps. Like they might be quick. It might be, that they just want to go open for that long. Just that. But the legs are wide open. You pull your leg out. So the pass is just pull your leg out. But the piece I just gave you, which is roll them flat, and the next piece I give you are the two pieces that like psychologically encourage this person to make the kind of mistake that maybe they even know they shouldn't make by opening their legs, but you just want so desperately. I've been this person on the bottom. You want so desperately to get back on your side. You open your legs, you put your foot down, just a turn. You're thinking just for 1 second, I'm going to put it down just so I can get back on my side. Okay. And that second piece, so the one piece is step forward. The second piece to support this second pass of just take your leg out is to underhook their leg. So after I switch my base, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just underhook their leg. Their leg is over my leg. I'm just going to reach between our legs and just get a little hook on their leg. Okay. Sometimes it's super tight and there's kind of almost no space to get in here to get their leg. And all you have to do is straighten your leg for a second, right? And I don't risk my base. It's not like their position where they by opening, they give me everything. If I straighten my leg, I don't lose balance very much. I just for a second, maybe they could try and lockdown, but lockdown isn't like a split-second move. They have to like lace and hook, right? So if I just go, I'm probably good just to get my hand in. And I do this almost all the time from top of half. Again, their head is back here. They can't even see what's going on. It's not like they saw that coming. Now I'm holding onto their leg. So what my arm under their leg tells them is you couldn't put your foot on the floor if you wanted to, right? If you picture that you're the person doing the move I'm talking about, and I catch your leg and you underhook this, bring my knee to my chest a little bit. Now it's like, I couldn't bring my foot to the floor if I wanted to. And when you tell someone they can't do something, they want to do it even more. I mean, it's just, like I'm saying, this is almost psychological. When I unhook this leg and I fold them up a little bit, bring their knee to their chest a little bit, and I keep getting closer and rolling them flat, they have to do something about it. There's kind of nothing they can do. You start to feel helpless as this guy because you got rolled flat and now your leg's being brought to your chest and you can't turn on your side. So you just want to do this. You can fix everything. Only put your foot on the ground for a second and take your eye off that ball of holding your leg. So again, that's what we're trying to do. So the movement is this. Let's practice the movement of switching. And let's do this, right? So I'm just extending for a second to get my hand under, but still I'm locked up. Okay? So switch, do this, and walk your foot up. And now you're going to wait for them to open their legs, and that's when you can pull your foot out. You can pull your foot out to side mount is probably the one I recommend the most. So I'm going to take it out to side mount. But you will get rolled unless you pull this leg out and give yourself some serious base with your hips off the ground, driving forward, driving your chest forward. I'm telling you, their natural reaction is going to be to bridge into you. Our whole movement is this. I was mounted. Sean Doherty, what's up, brother? They elbow escape this leg. I switch my base, bring my elbow to the side, and I'm going to underhook their leg. At the moment they open their legs, so that's something I'm looking down here for. When they open their legs for even a second to put that foot on the floor, I step out, but I have to drive. My hips come off the ground, and I get real chesty. I get real chesty about it. Okay, so switch, underhook, wait, watch, step out, and drive. And this back foot, super solid. Drive off that back foot, and they're gonna, when they push into you, that's your, this point right here is my balance. So that's why I'm driving in off of it. Let's do a bunch of them, right? Switch, underhook, take your foot out and drive. Switch, get an underhook on their leg, watch their feet, step out and drive. Your hips should be off the ground, forward. Your chest is forward. Hips and chest are forward. Okay, a few more. Switch, underhook, step out and drive. Switch, underhook, watch their feet, sidle up. Let's add one of those in actually. Sidle up so they're even flatter, right? And then when they put that foot down, step out and drive in. Turn my chest to the floor, driving in with my chest and hips. Let's add a sidle in. So what I mean is switch, underhook. When they try to get on their side, sidle up, and then step out and drive. Switch, underhook. Watch. If they turn on their side, sidle up. Now step out and drive. Again, and get good at one side. I'm fine with you guys doing one side to get real good at it. Switch your base, underhook their leg, sidle up, get them flat, right? And then step out and drive. Okay. I can add one last thing to this piece right here. And that is, and honestly, this is one of the more common ways that I get mount from half guard is not just stepping over to mount necessarily, although sometimes it happens, but it's stepping out and over, which is funny. But when you step out, there's a moment where they're like, and that's the moment you step over. So the moment where they go, oh man, and then you make it worse by stepping over, it's huge. Underhook the leg, right? Sidle up when they open their legs, step out, step over. Okay, so that's a really good movement to practice because honestly, when you have stepped out, their guard comes down for a split second because they're like, oh, right? They go loose a little bit for one moment. So switching my base, underhook the leg, and now they start to turn on their side. I get close, I walk, and I get closer. Now watch your foot. You have to imagine them doing stuff, right? Them getting on their side, so you sidle up, and them putting their foot down to get back on their side. You're going to step out and immediately step over. Stepping over, I'll talk more about this Thursday, but stepping over works anytime somebody bridges their 2 feet, anytime somebody on the bottom, does this. So when they put their foot on the ground, thinking they'd help themselves get flat again, and you stepped out, they already have the beginning of a bridge, so they will bridge into you. You can expect it. And that's why, boom, step out, step over works, because I can't both bridge and be ready to catch your leg. Okay. So let's practice those movements again. It's a scenario, right? So please be using your, can't continue. Something went wrong. Failed. No, that's not what you want. Okay, well, YouTube, it's you and me. Switch, underhook, sidle in, now step out, step over. Okay, get your last few. Switch, underhook, sidle in, step out, and step over. Switch, underhook. They try to get on their side, so you sidle in. They try to put their foot down, so you step out and immediately step back over to mount. Switch, underhook, last one. Sidle up when they try to get on their side. They try again. Boom. You won't let them, right? And then they go to put that foot on the foot. You step out, immediately step over. Okay? So we've covered really just switching your base and 2 passes. Switching your base, opting for this half guard 2, right? I think a lot of people do a different half guard, is what I call it this, or the PMA half guard, this hip switch half guard. So we've talked about switching your hips and then 2 passes. One was clear your knee and drive it across. The other, just pull your leg out. But you can't just pull your leg out of people's half guard. We obviously set it up with a couple of concepts. Concepts that like get into their posture and body positioning, and then get into their head, and then make them want desperately to do one thing, which is just take their legs apart long enough to post their foot to turn on their side. Okay, and we took advantage of that, and we were able to pull our leg out because of a little bit of tooling along the way and playing with some concepts, right, to make them want to put that foot down. Thanks so much for being here for class tonight, guys. Katie's up next in yoga. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes just to cool down and get ready for that. And thank you, YouTube, for tuning in. And any of this you want to see a briefer explanation of, you can check out. But of more moves, you can check out the Monday Brain Dump. This you can rewind anytime. It'll always be on YouTube here for you. And I'll post the YouTube on Facebook, which just failed. Not sure why. And then workouts of the day. These are really good. It's a really good combination of upper body, lower body, cardio, jiu-jitsu. It's high intensity, and it's done in 10 minutes. So for anybody who's looking for something they can do and get done every day that they can commit to and like know that they can do it, anyone can really do 10 minutes, right? So 10-minute workouts. I'm releasing them Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. on YouTube. They're always on YouTube there. And I'm posting the links in our Slack and Facebook. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for being here. Take care.